Mills got beats.
Welcome to another episode of the Traumaless podcast. I'm your host, JR.
And it's your co-host Pat.
Today, our topic is what is our topic today, Pat?
We're gonna be talking about time management.
We talk about time management. Okay, that's good because that's something I damn sure want to get into, especially with a lot of stuff that's been going on in my life. But before we get into that, we're going to get into our mental tap in where we give a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. So, Pat, how you feeling today, bro?
You know, honestly, today I'm at a 10.
Oh, you ain't patting today?
No, I'm not patting today. I'm Malik today.
Oh,
That's my high. That's the king. He's on his
okay.
king vibration. But no, I feel pretty good today. I don't know. Yeah. What about you?
Today I'm cool. I'm chilling. It's a little hot in this room,
Yeah,
but
that
I'm
Philly
chilling.
heat, no joke.
Man, this is out of pocket. Like, but nah, I say I give myself a 9. Like, the day can still be moving forward. Give me a 10.
It's still pretty early. We still
Yeah,
got enough of the day to conquer.
exactly. So, with that being said, let's get into our topic. Like Pat said, it's time management. So, I brought this topic up to you the other day because of the fact that lately I've been feeling like I had a lot of shit on my plate and that I've been feeling overwhelmed. It's been pissing me off because I'm like, how am I supposed to really like go about doing this and doing that? We got a lot of stuff that we're trying to do, not only with Traumaless, but also your own project that you got going on. If you want to let the people know about that.
No, we don't gotta talk about it right now.
Nah,
We go
okay.
into,
All right, we can keep that secret in the chamber then. Let them know later. But yeah, it's just the fact that I got a lot of stuff on my plate that I've been working on and trying to do, and it seems like it's overwhelming that I can't. I've been getting demotivated rather than motivated to really do
Mhm.
the stuff because it's so much. If that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. I can relate. It's funny because it's like that's really why I kind of am the way that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And like y'all be like, Pat be patting nah, because Pat be having a million different one things on his plate, and he feel like he don't have enough time to like. It's just overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So like for you, how to like what what are the things? Why are those things like important for you or on your plate to begin with? Like what is it that you're trying to accomplish, or like of course get the business started and
Mm-hmm.
get that situated, but like why do you feel like it's so much on your plate right now?
A lot on my plate is it like it's not necessarily it's a bad thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to have this stuff on my plate. I wanted to have a full schedule where it's like it don't seem like I'm just doing nothing.
Mm.
But it's since I got like Traumaless going on, like not only with us doing the podcast and try to make sure that that's running, even though that the reins be towards you to take care of, but coming up with the ideas for the apparel side of things, like I'm juicing, like I'm trying to figure out the logo and name for to start that business. Over here, try to create designs for Mott's restaurant and her menu. Um, and then try to create the logo for you, yeah, all that type of stuff. Like it's just a lot of stuff going on. Not only that, trying to have free time for myself so I can be able to work out, so I can play the game, so I can watch my anime. like, and then work on top of that.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. Where it's like, fuck, I just wish that something just would take off so that way I could just drop something.
Mm. So what would you I feel like that kind of go back to our last episode and
Mm.
talking about the pillars and like identifying this season. So like what is the one thing that you would want to take off ideally, and what if that one thing was to take off, like, or what do you think would make things easier for you?
So if financially, I'm over here messing up my words. Um, if things was to take off, let's say with Traumaless, where it can subsidize my bills and everything, and I don't have to worry about actually going to work, then that would help because then that leaves 8 hours in a day that I can fully utilize to focus on doing other things. Like granted, when I juice, I can be able to get some money from that, but it's not to the point where I could really be able to make consistent income. So it's like, yeah, I need something to kind of like move along. That way I can just get rid of this. Let me get rid of this job and focus on the other things.
Right. So it sounds like that you got to start saying no,
Mhm.
or it's not even yeah saying no, but also like y- listening. It sounds like Traumaless is your main priority, so
Mhm.
that should be your main priority and your focus. And like how we was talking about, you know, last week and just focusing on those pillars. Like yeah, you could still do the other things, but it's like you shouldn't give them the same amount of energy and time that you're putting into Traumaless.
Mhm.
It should be Traumaless first, and then okay, if I have the energy after for extra, then I'll do that.
Mhm.
But I feel like yeah, like you just really have to, you really got to like figure out okay, this is really my priority, and this is
Mhm.
like what is going. This is the one I want, and focus on that, and like just really dive into that.
Yeah, so it's not that Traumaless isn't number one on the totem pole. It's like, let's say Traumaless has 70% and the other 30% is being split between everything else. Is the fact that okay, with Traumaless, me trying to think of so many different things, trying to post, trying to like come up with different designs and how to properly like put that out to people. That way it can really get some buzz and people really fuck with it and all that type shit. Like it's just really like me being pulled in different ways of trying to figure out all this stuff all at once because it is a lot going on that I'm trying to figure out how to manage and how to maneuver just my life in itself, like my own personal life.
Mm.
So yeah.
What about like what about just picking one idea for Charmless and seeing that all the way through?
Hmm.
Like would like instead of trying to do all of the things at once, focus on the thing that's actually going to produce income.
Hmm.
And that would be getting product and selling product. And so like really focusing on that as opposed to all of the different other ideas or like yeah, of course you I feel like it'll just come in its time, but once you focus, like you just got to really focus on one
Hmm.
aspect of the business that you know for a fact that you can like, that you are strong in and that you can grow.
Right. And I am working on trying to just strictly focus on that and actually getting some product. That way, not only when we have guests, they can be able to get a shirt, and also when we go out and like just have conversations with other people, like talking about Traumaless, that they have the ability to be able to support and be able to buy. Which everybody make sure that y'all go and shop on traumalessapparel.com. I keep forgetting to plug that at the end every single time, but go on there. Um, but yeah.
So how do you feel like all that, how do you feel like all that affects you like mentally? Like what do you notice about yourself because of all of this? Like I know you said overwhelmed, but
Mhm.
like on the day, like what are some of the thoughts you be thinking? Like, you know, how is it affecting you?
So it affects me in the aspect of like when I'm like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's so many things that I have an idea to do that I want to do that I end up doing nothing
Mm,
because I'm like, if I sit here and try to design and do this or try to update this or whatever, then I lose my thought process to for the other stuff because I'm in that creative space where now my brain is going all over the place.
right.
And if I don't like, even if I write it down, sometimes it still don't come out the same. So it's like, fuck, how can I keep that?
Right.
Like, so then it just irritates me to the point where I'm like, fuck this shit.
Fair, fair.
Yeah, so that's just how it is and how it's been. So, but you have any like advice for like time management?
Um, I don't know. It's something that I struggle with myself. Like I said, I feel like there's so many different things that I want to do, so
Mm-hmm.
many different avenues and ways that I can get there. One thing you said earlier was like you feel like I feel like so that I feel like the biggest thing with time and time management and this whole thing with like productivity is that we feel like we always have to be doing something. We always have to be producing something to in
Mm-hmm.
order to get a return. But what I'm starting to learn about time management and just time in general is like the only time you have is now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's right where your feet are at. So if right now in this present moment all you can do is breathe, then breathe and understand and knowing that like that is enough, because it's like I feel like I don't know, just in today's society it's just programming and printing in us that we always have to constantly be working. We
Mm-hmm.
have to, if we're not, we're lazy. If we're not getting anywhere. If we're
Mm-hmm.
not, progressing. And like so for me it's like you said, it's like overwhelming because you have a million and one things in your head and how to do this and how you want to do this, but you got to do this first, or you put all these different rules and expectations before you do this. What I say for me, before I do this, I have to do this, or
Mm-hmm.
before I go out there or do this has to be done, or oh while
Mm-hmm.
I'm at work, I have to be doing, working on whatever I got to do
Yeah.
work on the side. It's like, and that's a lot that weighs down on your mental.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, like I said, yeah, like I'm starting to just realize, like, whatever the only time that you really have is now. And like, whatever is like comes up in that moment for you to do, just do that and be fully immersed in that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was saying last week, it's like you never really know how things will play out or how it will come. Like, you may, let's say, like, for example, I could decide, okay, even though I know I want to sit down and like study this course or whatever the case may be, or come up with this business plan, I'm going against the grain, trying to sit here. Like, my environment is not conducive for it. But okay, so instead of trying to force it out of the sake of productivity, and I
Mm-hmm.
have to be on the grind, okay, let me go outside. Let me go to the park and chill and like just like be in nature or whatever the case may
Right.
be. While I'm out there, I just so happen to meet entrepreneur, a businessman. We wind up just having a conversation, and da da da. Next thing you know, everything I've been looking for just so happened in that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
just from me going to do something to calm myself down, to
Right.
keep me grounded and centered. And that comes with trust, like really trusting in God and understanding that it's already taken care of. Like mentioned last week, it's like the seed, the thought, the idea, that's already the seed.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to trust and allow it to blossom and like,
Okay.
nourish. Of course, like there's, actionable steps. Um, but what I'm also learning is consistency doesn't mean every single day.
Mm.
Like, consistency could be 2 times a week. But it's like, if when you look at, it's like, so like let's say we look at a 30-day period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say you go to the gym 4 times out of the week. That's what, 16 days out of the 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to, so it's like you only going 4 days out the week and you beating yourself up because somebody else is in there 30 days a week.
Right.
But it's like, for them, that's their lifestyle. That's conducive, because that, to them, they may be a bodybuilder, they may be in
Mm-hmm.
fitness is their life.
Yeah.
But you, as an entrepreneur, you can't afford. You're looking at, oh, I'm not in the gym every day, and you're looking at, I'm not you're basically comparing yourself to somebody else who says, oh, I'm in the gym every day. Da, da,
Mm-hmm.
da. They have a whole different lifestyle.
Yeah.
The 16 days is efficient for you because guess what? You still have to. You're still trying to start a business. You're still trying to do personal development. You still have
Mm-hmm.
to X, Y, and Z. So that's what I mean by realizing that, like, consistency is not every single day. It may be like, for me, I love to read. It doesn't mean that every single day I have to carve out an hour to read. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
not feasible. It doesn't mean like I have to, like, so for me, I used to, I think, I don't know. I used to like dead ass like write out like, and I feel like this come from the military too, but like I used to literally have all like my day, like a daily routine. I
Mm-hmm.
wake up 5:55, between 5:55. Like, I literally had it
Yeah.
structured,
To
every
know
single thing,
everything.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is that, let's say I don't wake up at 5:55. because I didn't do that, now I'm being hard on myself. And instead of
Mm,
realizing that I still got the rest of the other day, the
right.
rest of the day to do all this other stuff, I'm still dwelling on the fact that I didn't do this. So now I'm in my head about that. Now I'm missing all the other
Hmm.
opportunities and everything in life around me. Now I'm not doing other things and this and it just, yeah, it's just it's not healthy.
Yeah. So one thing that you had just said when I was listening is like when you had brought up that all the stuff that I got going on, including like the personal development. I honestly didn't even speak on that because I completely forgot about just like the personal development side of things because I've been working on myself mentally, trying to gain more confidence, trying to just approach things in a more serious tone, not too serious because I'm still keeping my playful personality, but trying to do better for myself. I'm trying to just change my mindset with a lot of different things. And so since I've been trying to be consistent on that and work on that aspect of myself, like it's it's almost like trying to rewrite who I am. Like it almost that's how it kind of like feels. And the fact that I'm doing all this different stuff while also doing that, it's like,
So I'll be honest, I've been on this journey for like 4 or 5 years.
mm-hmm,
This constant cycle of like, like I've been like, doing this. So it's like I've started, stopped so many times.
mm-hmm,
But what I'm realizing is there's nothing to really change. It's more so about just accepting who you are and what you already are and allowing yourself to be. And I'm learning that it's like the confidence comes from consistently being up and showing as 100%
mm-hmm,
authentically you. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's like, cause I've read over like hundreds of self help books. I don't watch. You could look at my YouTube, thousands of hours of all. It's all the same stuff.
mm-hmm,
It's really just. It's like it literally is all the same thing, but it really just honestly boils down to like learning to accept yourself, asking yourself
mm-hmm,
why you don't like these parts about yourself, or why does this affect me, and like I said,
mm-hmm,
really like just loving on yourself and like accepting yourself. That's the only way you will get better and like grow. You can't change to be somebody else. Like, yeah, you could try different like pick up different little pieces from everybody or try this method out or like
mm-hmm.
what would work for me may not work for you because
Right.
you're a different person, you have your different set of experiences. And another thing, that's what piece of advice that I do feel like everybody should do is I do this all the time, but I take detoxes, whether it be from social media, and social media is YouTube as well, because
Mm-hmm.
like that's just it's another
Yeah.
form of social media, and it's another way of escapism. I think that so for me, I definitely do. We all deal with it, but for me, like that's one of the ways. A false sense of productivity is learning
Mm-hmm.
educating yourself. The real work comes from actual experience. Like and I've learned it's funny. Shout out to Eric, but one of the twins.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
like, you might be talking about somebody else.
Nah, shout out to him
Okay.
because it was funny like because one day he had told me he was like he basically like because I stay reading, I stay with the
Mm-hmm.
book, whatever the case may be, but he was like he made the essentially what he told me was like I don't like you don't need to keep reading them books. Like you need to get out and like live life and like experience. Like experience is the best teacher. Granted, yes, like information does. So
The
I actually,
fact that he out here giving bars like that
I
is
mean, but
crazy.
it's a lot of us like minded. It's a lot of that's why you have to stay off of social media and really
Mm-hmm.
talk to people. Um, but yeah, when he told me that. It's not nothing I didn't already know, but what I realize is I procrastinate with telling myself I need to learn more or I need to
Mm-hmm.
learn this and this, that, and the third. Like even with this, like I have years, like I said, I've spent years of like studying, researching from marketing, advertisement,
Mm-hmm.
business credit, this, that, and the third, all this different types of information that I've had and spent like accumulated over the 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not utilizing it. And that's why I feel like it's easy to get overwhelmed
Mm-hmm.
because like you don't if you don't just pick one thing and just focus on that and just
Yeah, and I think that's another part of time management as well, is because we had a conversation when I had told you, I'm like, yo, like, I really feel like that when it comes to this and me not having the experience like that you have with the knowledge that you have, I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, I really feel like that I'm not as good as you, and I just felt inadequate. Like, but that's okay because of the fact that you have your strengths, I have my strengths, and I had to surrender to that and allow myself to focus on the things that I am good at, which is about time management. If I'm over here trying to focus on the stuff that I'm really not that good at, whereas like you have this knowledge, why am I trying to sit here and put all my time into something that is not my strength and also I don't know about? I can learn that over time,
Right,
but I'm gonna just allow you to do that. Like
right,
I'm gonna
right.
put that on your plate because that's what you want on your plate.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's also the benefit of, like I said, that's why relationships is one of my pillars. That's
Mm-hmm.
the importance of having a team.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have to do everything by yourself. You do not need to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have to do everything, especially being an entrepreneur or a CEO, a business owner. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
trying to work in my business. I'm trying to run a business. I just want to come and collect the check. I want to put people in place.
Mm-hmm.
This is my idea. This is my vision. This is how it will be executed. This is like, and take care of all of the back end stuff. But I'm not trying to work in my business.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do that if you're doing everything by yourself. But I also, I don't know if I had said it then, I'm pretty sure I did, but that's why I say you can't compare yourself to the next person
Mm-hmm.
because you have, like I said, you're looking at all this and you felt inadequate, but you have to realize I've spent 5 years immersing myself in this type of knowledge.
Right.
So like, of course, there's going to be a different, because you're just not really getting started.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's why I said, and that's why I feel like everybody need to detox from social media, because that's not real life. Like looking on social media and all that, you constantly compare yourself. You constantly
Yeah.
looking at with this person. Oh, I'm this person this age, and I should
Mm-hmm.
all these different rules. And it's like, bro, you realize when you actually get out into the real world and really talk to people, you realize
Yeah.
everybody is just figuring it the fuck out.
Yeah. I damn sure do have an unhealthy habit of comparing myself. Like
We all do. We all do. I feel you. Trust.
shit, I feel like I'll be doing it more than people, everybody else. I'll really be over here comparing myself to anything and everything, bro. It's the worst. That's one of the things that I'm working on.
No, I agree. But remember how I told you, like, I always say that you're not the only one because, like, bro, it's gonna be like, especially when more people start like tuning in,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna start to see, damn, I be thinking that too. I be da 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 da. I be da
Mm-hmm.
da da. X, Y, and Z. Like, that's why it's important to actually live life and get experiences
Yeah.
because, like I said, social media is not. It's not real life. It's not. It's people's highlight reels. And then on top of that too, like, even just like even then, even when you do, if you have an interaction with a person, you're not really in their life to know what their life is really like. People can easily put up a facade or make things seem
Mm-hmm.
like they're like, seem what they're not. But what the difference is the confidence because they've accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be confident in who you are. You got to be
Yeah.
confident in what you know. You have to be confident in your experiences, in your journey. Like, and that's what I'm learning as I'm on my journey. Like, it's not gonna look like anybody else's. Like, I'm forging my own path. Like, and I have to be able to stand 10 toes on any decision that I make. I can't worry about whether it works out or not. Like, one thing. So what people don't realize is that like I'm really kind of just now getting my head above water from like a deep depression and like
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I say I've been in this journey for like 4 or 5 years because that's kind of like when you could say like I woke up, had my first awakening, and when I say awakening, just like really realizing like it's more to life than just school work.
I ain't gonna cap.
Da-da-da-da.
I wouldn't have guessed that you were depressed or that you was in a deep depression recently.
Nobody would because everybody, like I said, nobody would because I don't speak on it or I don't talk. Like people just look at even you like what's wrong with you? Like you handsome, you got this, da, da, da. Everybody says it. You're smart, you're intelligent, you da,
I
da,
ain't say
da.
that you was handsome.
Yeah, people say I'm a
Okay,
handsome young
shit.
man. People always tell me I'm a handsome young man, like,
Like,
so
my
it's like
guy, my guy.
but nah, no funny shit. But nah, real shit though. It's like people be like, what's like people when I be expressing some of these things to
Mm-hmm.
people, they're looking at me like, "Yo, what like people view me as like I'm perfect in a sense, and they don't understand mentally
Mhm.
what I be dealing with. But what happened was, and what this comes from, honestly, with this need for, especially in our community, this need to always have to be doing something and always it's survival.
Mhm.
And that's what, honestly, like, that's really what it is. And like, what I've realized is with time management is not surviving.
Mhm.
It's about living, actually making time for the life, living life
Mhm.
and its experiences. And I'm trying to get out of doing things to survive, out of survival.
Mhm.
But yeah, when I was in college, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I always kind of had that survival mentality. Everything I've done since a kid, like ever since
Mhm.
like elementary, I knew this is my goal. This is where I'm going. I've always been this, that, and the third. Like always had a goal. Always had an insight.
Mhm.
When I wasn't able to go, like the plan I had to go to college and it didn't work out the way I did. Okay, boom. Next thing, go to the military. Da, da, da. Like I had
Right.
it when I went to the military. Like I had it all figured out of how I'm gonna take care of. Da, da. I always was operating in the known realm of like the predictable, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you do this is gonna happen, you do this and da da da.
Mhm.
So it's like my path was kind of like easy in a sense. Well, I
Mhm.
made it look easy. I'll say
Okay.
that I made it look easy.
Still
um
make it look easy. Still make it look easy.
but nah, so honestly, so what happened was just looking back, like all of this trauma and stuff, like I have formed this identity based off of surviving and based off of all of the trauma and stuff that I had experienced.
Mhm.
And I'm also was in a sense like naive to life because like I was, like I said, I grew up very sheltered. So it's like I didn't really have certain life experiences and stuff like that. So it's like I kind of was like just naive to the world and just thinking things were a certain type of way. But then got to college, got in a toxic relationship, first heartbreak. So
Dang.
this was 2020. So like this happened like between April and May. And this is the thing,
How old was you?
19.
Sound about right. Okay.
Yeah, 19. First heartbreak, well, real major like heartbreak.
Mhm.
Um that's kind of what started it. On top of that, what happened? Heartbreak, father passed. That's a
Mhm.
whole nother like.
Yeah, that's a different type of energy that comes with all that.
So I ain't
Yeah,
even
we
gonna
all get
lie
into
though.
that.
I'll be honest though with that. I feel like one episode. I think I want to say that episode for Ashley. I want to talk about grief.
Say that for that time. We'll
I give
unpack
it.
that.
Yeah, we'll unpack it. But I was the reason why that was. I'll be honest. I didn't feel like I had a right to grieve my father dying for a long time
Mm.
because we didn't have a relationship
Mm.
and because he wasn't in my life. Not due to not my fault and not adult issues. We know that. Yeah. But I felt like I didn't have a right. But what people don't never really knew was that like I always, even though my dad wasn't a part of my life, he was very much still so a part of my life.
Mhm.
Cause it's like anytime like we took a road trip or was on the highway, like I'm looking at every truck, seeing if it's like my dad.
If it's
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
all these different things. But we'll
Mhm.
talk more about that on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So like yeah, so that's this whole thing. Like that, I ain't gonna lie, when my dad died, like that broke me. Like I went numb and like
Mm.
I like when I say I
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um so yeah, dealing with that. And then, like I said, this state of survival. Like, so when I went to college, I didn't have to pay nothing for college. Plus, the on top
Lucky.
of that, huh?
Lucky.
Plus, on top of that, I was getting money from the military, and then on top of that too, I was taking out student loans just for the hell of it, just to get the extra money. So when I say like, it's funny. Like
Who
this
just takes out student loans just for the fun?
because I had to go. I like, and this is why I say life comes full circle because like I'm kind of essentially in the same situation I was back then. So yeah, I'm really, I didn't want for nothing but
Mm-hmm.
that need and desire to feel like I gotta get it. So I'm working jobs, whatever the case may be. And this is the summer. Um, I was working at FedEx for a little bit. Then I started working at this car dealership with this car dealership. Long story short, I started listening to podcasts while I was
Working.
working.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of like once you start opening your mind up, because granted, I already have been on this type of stuff, like because even like I said, 12, 13, 14, I was looking up this type of stuff.
Right.
It's just more so now that I'm older and I'm actually in the position to
To utilize it.
fend for myself. Yeah. So that just kind of like led me down like that just kind of that's basically, yeah, started listening to podcasts. We wanted to do the whole entrepreneur thing, get into really take it serious. But what ended up happening was one day I was at work and I just broke down. Like I had a breakdown at work and I was just like, this is not all that there can be to life. Like, and it like I knew in that moment I said like, bro, like because I was frustrated with the fact that um like I really built my life for myself. Like, you know, like when it came, it's like I built my credit, got my first car, got like I've had to do these things because like nobody else would do it for me.
Right.
And not to say that people don't support you or love you, but it's like certain nobody. It's like me and my mom's didn't have a great relationship. Dad is not in the dad is dead by that time, but even before then, he's you know, we had actually, you know, it's funny too. And that's really why I hurt too. Yeah. Yeah. I will talk about that another
Unpack
time.
for another time. Say that for a therapist.
Damn. Yeah.
Let her really be able to get into that with you.
I'm dead. But nah, yeah, I was just frustrated because I just felt like I was doing this life thing on my own. Like I needed a car, I couldn't find nobody to co-sign with. It's just like shit like that. So yeah,
I'm sorry. We got Nate in the back cutting up.
as always. But nah, yeah, so yeah, all that frustration of wanting to, it just hit me all in that moment. And it was from that point forward, I don't know, this journey really just, that's when it really kicked off. Not too long after that, I had bought a course, Recession Proof. What I did was I increased my credit limit that I had got it for 5,000, caught the Black Friday sale. And that's why when people be like, oh, I don't know, you can't tell me I don't know, because I figured it out myself. And like I said, that's because you gotta have the one that try to do that. But I gotta learn I can't compare. I can't put my type of. I can't expect that out of everybody. So I'm learning. I'm learning. But
learn faster. God damn it.
look. But nah, so yeah, from that point forward, after that breakdown, that's when I really, like I said, got the credit card. That's when I opened like that. When did that happen? Yeah, basically, yeah, that's when I started my entrepreneurship journey, started the whole self-knowledge and getting into, I done learned so much stuff. I done learned from entrepreneurship, credit, business credit, how to credit repair business, was telling people how to do the credit. I was really, and that's my thing too, like I got a good heart, so because I came in the information, I was doing it for free. Then also imposter syndrome, feeling like I'm young and like I don't know what I'm talking about, and you know,
It for free.
yeah, nah,
No.
I was doing shit for free. And people still, you know, people don't respect. I realize people don't respect free, anyways.
They don't.
But because of my own insecurities, I never really stood up to the level that I know I'm capable of. So then, yeah, but doing after that, started got the PPP loan legally.
Okay. I'm like,
Legally. And you know, the thing about it is anybody could have got it. You just have to know how to read. But yeah, got that. So and me not realizing in hindsight, I'm really like depressed after my dad because he died August 16, 2020. So that following year, the following months, all that is going on. Go to, you know, do the recession proof stuff. I wound up dropping out of school because I'm like, I'm too smart for school. I was tired of it. And I in my mind logically, I knew how to start a business and scale and do all of this stuff. It was just more so of the execution. Um, wound up buying another car. Yeah, it was just so much going on. Wound up going home. So when I went home, back home to Kanye, it's like I really felt like a failure. And that's really kind of like I've been stuck. I was there for like up until, you know, I came out here to Philly and all of that.
And
But
now you're here with us.
yeah, no, like I
That's a
really
blessing. Like along the road, like all that stuff that was going on, it was bringing you to a point where it was going to put you at a crossroads.
hmm
And now it was your choice to either go this way or this way. You chose a direction that eventually brought you to our job, which made you meet me and Nate. Ble-
I'm dead.
Which is a blessing in disguise, not only just on your part towards us, but then our part towards you. Like things do happen for a reason,
No, I definitely believe that.
and I appreciate you. I appreciate Nate. We'll always keep telling you all that. Um, but I do got a question though.
What's up?
So all the stuff that you had going on, how did you manage your time from like with all that stuff going on? Like not only just like for your own personal sanity, like from you doing the I was about to say business consultant,
Credit repair.
yeah, the credit repair and all that. Like, how did you manage your time then compared to now? Like with all the stuff that you had going on.
Um, like I said, I fell into the productive procrastination part because I was
Mm-hmm.
scared to really put myself out there because I was insecure about my age and insecure about like just the value that I provide.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I've started and stopped a lot. I done did options trading. I done did crypto. Had a credit repair business.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to do Airbnb. Wanted to do Turo. Started a marketing agency. Like all of these different things. Like that's why I say for me, it's like now I'm in this space where it's like, okay, it's nothing for you to learn. It's time to put the shit that you've used to work. Because what
Mm-hmm.
happen is like I get the motivation, learn the shit, but then the insecurities and the fear kicks in and like that prohibits me. And then now like, okay, that starts another wave of this just
Mm-hmm.
mentality and like just this resentment towards life and where you at. So that's why I would say fast forward to now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm realizing that yeah, like I don't have to always be doing something and doing what
Mm.
I can. It's like planting the seeds and allowing the seeds to grow. Cause like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I understand that. Like what? You thought I was about to ask another question?
yeah, I thought you
Oh,
were. Yeah.
answer. Nah, just
So
fucking with you. But nah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
nah, yeah. But yeah, honestly, like and honestly too, like time is really like an illusion, to be honest. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's why I keep going back to the only time is now. And like even when you start to really even when you think about it, you don't even have to dive into like self-help books or any type of spiritual books or whatever the case may be to like when you're doing something that's fun that has you excited, time
Mm-hmm.
moves faster. So the goal and the key and the trick to life is to follow your heart's desire, whatever makes your heart fulfilled. Cause like when you're doing something, you don't even realize how much time has passed. You don't even realize.
Yeah.
It's like you really could kind of. It's like honestly, when you think about it, you control time because like you can make time go by super slow, or you can make time go
Mm.
by super fast. It's all just about the perspective and the mentality. Um, yeah.
Okay. No, I get that because it be a lot of times when I am just real engrossed in like what I'm doing. Like once I get inspired and I just go inside the my second bedroom, I'll be on my laptop just going crazy. Like when I come up with like one, three, five different designs, and then I'm like, damn, time is it? Oh shit, it's time for me to start getting ready for work.
Okay.
It, long past that, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, shit. All right, time to go hop in the shower.
See, but so two things that this made me think of is one that you can't compare who you are now to the other times that you've got those moments of inspiration. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing that I do as well. I keep trying to do things how like I'm used to doing it. But which leads me to the second thing. You have to pay attention to what made you like how you were feeling when you access that flow state.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get what I'm saying? Maybe it's like, oh, you were eating good that day, you had enough sleep and this, that, and the third. And now 3, 4 days later, you haven't you haven't prayed, you haven't meditated, you haven't
Mm-hmm.
did X, Y, and Z, and yet you're trying to force do access that same state. But it's like with paying attention to like kind of how you feel, not yeah, I guess how you feeling, but like what helps bring that spit like that flow in. Like you, does that make sense?
Yeah, like if I speak on that, like of bringing in that flow state, I'll say what and a lot of times what I recognize I end up doing is just about being actually proactive, like not just being like, oh, I'll go and do that later. Like I'm gonna just sit here and chill. This nah. If I actually be like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna actually sit down and do something, and I actually know exactly what I'm gonna do. If I write down the stuff that I want to accomplish and be able to do, now I'm actually able to be in that state.
Hmm.
Because like if I sit here and be like, all right, I have to sit up here and clean the whole house. I have to like do laundry. I gotta design. I have to like juice. I got even go to the produce junction to get the stuff. If I say, all right, I got all this stuff to do, how am I going to tackle this? How am I going to do this and the third? So therefore, it's like, all right, I need to list out all the stuff that is like I can tackle one thing at a time. What is the most daunting thing that's going to take up the most time? What is probably the easiest thing? This and that third. That's how I try to kind of like manage that stuff to try to get into a state.
Hmm.
So when I go into that second bedroom and I write out the stuff that I want to do, I'm able to get into that state a lot easier.
Hmm.
So
Because you have a plan already.
yeah, essentially, or I at least know what I want to tackle.
Hmm.
I know what I want to do.
And
So
so you feel like when you don't have that, that's when you start to.
yeah, because it's kind of scattered. It's almost like free flow. It's
Mm.
like, what the fuck am I going to do today? I don't know.
So if would you say for you, would you say that's why you've been feeling overwhelmed recently, like because you haven't sat down and wrote down like what's in your head, like of
Essentially,
mm,
essentially, like because I know like what I need to do sometimes, but other times it's like there are some stuff that get thrown into the like a monkey wrench get thrown into the plans. So then
mm,
it's like, fuck, okay, I guess I can't do that now. I'm tired. I fuck around. Like I don't sleep at night. I don't. I don't fall asleep until like probably 3 in the morning,
right,
and then
right.
gotta get up for work by like 5 and some change. So it's like if I get home like after working out and I sit down to at least got give myself like at least a half an hour to be able to relax, decompress from work and working out. Now I mess around, pass out. I'm knocked out on the couch. I didn't even take my shower now. It's like fuck.
Nah, dead ass. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I feel that's very, very, very. It's like, are you like watching me or something?
No.
Like you could, nah, but damn,
Like I
that's crazy,
literally just be passing out. It don't be intentional. I just pass the fuck out.
bro. Cause like I ain't gonna lie though, because like, and that's why I say I'm even me. Like I'm just having to rewrite some of the rules and like rewrite what I like productivity for me
Mm,
because I'm starting to realize me going to the gym every single day is not sustainable for me or my
mm,
mental at the moment. Like, or one idea I've been playing with is like, okay, understanding that some of these things, realizing what's important to me.
mm,
So like fitness or being outside, that's important to me.
mm,
Like being grounded and centered, that's important to me. So it's like, okay, paying attention to these different things and like maybe I don't have to go to the gym
mm,
every single day, but on the days I don't go to the gym, I can go walk outside at the park and that's still some physical exercise. So it's like I'm not in my head or beating myself up about the fact that, oh, you didn't go to the gym
right.
today, you're fucking lazy or whatever the
Mm,
case may be. Like that's really be like, and it's so much mental like power that goes into thinking these thoughts and like
it is.
it just takes out a lot of energy from you. So like, yeah, I feel you.
So I just told you about how I go about like getting into my flow state. How do you necessarily like get into your creative state of doing things?
Um,
Because like I said, like I list out things. Like that's how I better manage my time with it.
I
Like
do need to incorporate that. Even just not only just a list of like, see, but that'd be the thing too. So like, I do write down the list of
I don't
things.
think you write. I think you write down a list of things that you just need to accomplish, but you're not necessarily writing them down. Like, all right, this is what is needed. What?
Like, nigga, are you reading my? You be looking at my notebook or something like,
I know.
damn.
Nah,
So
nah,
what is
nah.
it?
When you
No,
really be
that's
writing in your notebook, you really just be writing in there. And I'm like, okay, these are all the ideas that he has that he's writing down, but you're not actually putting yourself in a schedule of what needs to be done today. You're just writing down stuff overall. That's what I'll be peeping. Am I wrong or am I right? Silence is everything.
damn. That's crazy. Now you got me thinking like, so okay, damn. Yeah, see, but this is crazy. So, and this is the crazy part. And this is
Time management, man.
that's what I'm saying. So this is why I be frustrated a lot of the times because I don't feel like I have enough time.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I don't feel like I have enough time for myself to even be able to sit down and like, what is it that needs to be done to get to where I'm trying to go?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I know, okay, I want this done, I want this done, I want this done, and X, Y, and Z. But it's just like, then it's like, also at the same time, I still have to make a life from live life.
Yeah.
So it's like I be always in this constant battle of like, okay, be by myself, but then it's like, okay, honestly, I realize this too. I don't like to be bothered when I feel like I am not my best self or I don't have my things done.
Mm-hmm. That's when Pat be patting.
Yeah.
And that's when Pat be pissing me off.
Damn. Yeah.
You do, bro. I'm like, what the
Why
fuck?
why is how do I be acting?
Like, you just be so, like, off kilter. Like, you just be off to yourself. You just be like, why the fuck are you talking to me? Type shit. Like, leave me alone. Let me be me and just stop talking. Matter of fact, just stop even existing. That's how it seems. Like, you just don't want nobody to exist or be a part of your bubble at all. It's like you just be annoyed at the world and that we're all just around. That's how it be seeming.
I can agree. I can agree. And so, damn, how do I better manage my time?
You might honestly, dead ass, like you personally, you might need to take like a couple pages out of my book with certain things. Like, even though I don't be doing it all the time, but you need to look at the stuff that you write down and look at what's important that needs to be accomplished as soon as possible. Like, and put a timeline on that, and then therefore take that day by day. So if you take it day by day, like, all right, I want to accomplish, let's say, exhibit A. I don't know what that'd be, but let's say exhibit A. I got this that needs to be accomplished by Wednesday. How's it that you're going to accomplish that? You need to write that down. Like, Monday, I'm doing these things. Step one, step two, step three. I need a break for myself because otherwise I'm gonna go batshit crazy. So I give myself a 2 hour break during this timeline. That's including me going to the gym. That's including me decompressing and relaxing. Whatever that time frame is, that's what you put in there. And then you go to your other things, like step 3, 4, 5. And you do that until that goal is accomplished. And then you check that off. That would probably be the best thing for you.
No, I definitely agree. Cause you know it's crazy. That just made me think about the fact that I still ain't do what I said I was gonna do with them clips and like come up with all the captions. And that was my goal today. So that was my goal today as well, right? I was gonna come. Don't I got all the clips. I just have to
Here.
take the time. I just have to take the time and like do it how like I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like I don't be having the time. Like I just be feeling. But
And that's
that's
because you're in a free flowing state instead of actually putting yourself on a schedule. Like you said that you used to be on a schedule in the military. That's essentially the same. I don't know y'all.
So this is what I'm saying, and this is why I'm struggling because you see how I move when I am on the
Mhm.
time. So it's like
But you
I'm
don't have to
trying
be that strict.
and that's what I'm trying to find the balance between of how to like not be so strict, but still kind of have a free flowing like.
So I'll say allowing the flexibility inside your schedule. So if you give yourself a time frame within your day to accomplish a certain amount of things, like let's say 4 things on your schedule, then given that space where if something does happen, you have the wiggle room to do that and it not feel so constricting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like something needs to be accomplished by like going to the gym by let's say 3 o'clock. If you going to the gym at 3 o'clock, the next thing that you want to do is at 5. So if that hour you like, all right, from 3 to 4, that's when I normally go to the gym.
See,
Your
now that's
next
crazy too, because I be in the gym literally from 3 to like it take me to like, and that's why I say I'm
bro,
trying to
your ass be flying. Stop it. That you
what.
get to the gym. If we get off of work at 3, you at the gym by 3:05.
No, but I'm saying even in the gym, like I be like, so for me, like that's why I feel like I have to really just I'm really restructuring everything now
Mm-hmm.
because I be in the gym for like dead ass sometimes up until 5 o'clock. Then from 5 o'clock, I'm like rushing to get home to like do everything
Mm-hmm.
else. And then by the time I get like done with all that, it's like I really don't even have the like mental capacity. Because then also too, like I also be thinking about the fact like, damn, you haven't called this person, you haven't spoke to this family member, you haven't called.
There be at.
Yeah, but
There be at.
yeah, but this the thing. So like my problem be I think more about the things I should be doing more than I actually do doing
Mm-hmm.
them.
And that's hard because I understand that sentiment because like especially when it comes to like trying to call people and talk to them and even try to do certain stuff, but it's like if you don't actually just focus on yourself and just put yourself on the type of schedule that you need that works best for you to keep you happy, but also knowing what's going to make you happy in the long run. Because if you put yourself on a tight schedule, you know it's going to piss you off. It's going to make you mad. It's not going to be very conducive to you. But if you put yourself on too loose of a schedule, that leaves too much room for you to not get things done like you want, which is also not going to be good for you. So if you put yourself on a good enough schedule where it's like, all right, I like to go to the gym from 3 to 5. Okay, you set that time for you, but you know for the rest of the day that this is what you have to do. So you can't allow either somebody else to come into that, or you need to be able to multitask where one thing can be able to be done with another.
Mhm.
So that's how it's gonna really have to be. Like
And
with
that's what
yours.
I've been trying to do at work. Which
Yeah,
is
you're
what
not good with that. Not that much.
what you mean?
Your ass be liking to go to the car,
But this
take
so the thing
naps.
about it is the reason why I do be like trying to get away is so that I can focus and do
Hmm.
things. But I'm realize like and that's where I be battling at because like okay, yes, I have to prioritize time for myself,
Hmm.
but I can't always be by myself. Like I have to still live life. And the thing about it is I want to live life and I want to be social and I
Hmm.
want to have friends and establish these relationships. I want to be closer with my family. I want to do all of these things. But like I mentioned
Hmm.
earlier, I don't feel like I can until this is done. But then I don't want to do this because like I'm desiring something
Hmm.
else. It's like, yeah, so
But that's why I say if you don't have yourself on that type of a schedule, you can make room for to allow yourself to do certain things like talking to a family member, like and putting that on the timeline, like, yo, bro, like I'm gonna talk to you, but I ain't gonna sit here and talk to you for 2 hours. Nah, they got a good 30 minutes, and then now it's time for me to do some other shit because like we don't need to be on the phone for that damn long. And if it's that important, then I'll make some more time. Like give me like another like call me around this time. I'll make that time for you, like so we can have this conversation. But otherwise, if you got yourself on a schedule and everything,
You know who I need to get tips from?
Who?
My calendar needs to start looking like Ashley's, and I need to have like,
Her
yeah,
calendar is
yeah.
insane.
I'm gonna get some game from her
Nah.
because y'all gonna have to schedule time. You gonna have to schedule the time to call me. Schedule time. No, I'm just playing funny.
Not, but in all honesty, like I like how hers is.
Yeah,
Hers is like almost overbooked and whatnot. But I don't like the actual like phone calendar. I would prefer to have an actual full hard calendar.
yeah,
So
same,
I can be able to
same.
write on. I can actually go and see.
Yeah,
At the
yeah,
crib,
yeah.
I have like two separate calendars. I have a daily calendar where I can write on and race off of. And then I have a month calendar where each day I can be able to see what's coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So stuff like that helps.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. One thing eventually there's a couple of things that's in the works right now that I'm kind of putting out there. But when I do get into transition into another space, because I know my environment isn't really. I need an environment conducive to my energy that cultivates and sustains what I needed to do. But one thing I will do is like start writing on the mirror, like
Mhm.
stuff like that. I don't know, it's just fun, like shit like that.
Yeah.
But then also having that little daily calendar. Yeah,
Yeah,
give me some things to think about, sir.
yeah. Well, that's stuff that anybody could be able to utilize to help with better managing their time. But that's all I got.
That's all you got.
Yeah.
Any
Got
input from Nate, dog? Hell no. How do you manage how do you manage your time with a full family? Let's talk about that, sir. Because this dude be over here, he got a full family and be multitasking, be doing editing at the job, doing stuff at work.
That's the life of a parent. Like the multitasking skills is on a beam, dickhead. Yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
that's all the time that we have for today. If you like this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, I'm your host, JR.
This your girl's Pat.
Make sure that you stay tuned and get up with us on the next episode. Yeah, bro. What you mean? I did that earlier.
Plugging in the game.
You want me to do it again? Make sure that y'all go to our website. The link is in the bio. You'll be able to find it at www.traumalessapparel.com. There you go.